So we're taking a float trip down the Duck River today, and the American water willow is coming into bloom. This is a forage source that not many beekeepers would think about, but we have so many sandbars that my bees are absolutely mobbing this stuff. Now, I don't see weight gain from it, but they are definitely getting something from it, or they wouldn't be working it this hard. They are all over this. This entire sandbar is humming. You don't think about these little set-aside areas. I mean, this is underwater in the winter, but there's hundreds of acres of this stuff. Nobody thinks about. Bees know it though. You found a really cool rock?
Yeah, that was carved.
Let me see. Oh, cool.
Put it in the boat.
Okay.
Even I also found this.
Oh, that's a piece of shiny shell. Reed, get back this way. You're too far. You're too far. Get back this way. It's Monday, June the 10th. Took a nice kayak float trip on the Duck over the weekend with the kids and the wife. That was a lot of fun. It gets to be a lot of work for me because I have to get the kayaks out and wash them to get the spiders out of them, and drag everything around and load everything and unload everything and all that. It gets to be quite a bit of work. My son gets a little bigger, he'll be able to help more, but he's just like 60 pounds right now, 58 or 60 pounds, so he can't lift a whole lot. My mind and my body are just in neutral today. I'm suffering a lack of motivation. I've got things I need to be doing. I had some goals to get done this week, and I am just slow getting going. Boy, it's almost lunchtime. I've been working on the computer and trying to do some plumbing in my honey pumping system in the honey house. That's all I've gotten done. I think one of the reasons, I stopped a little too fast there. I think one of the reasons that beekeeping suits me very well is I'm the type of person who thrives when working under pressure. And I love project work. I love to work on a project for an extended period of time and then take a rest from that project. So the seasonality of beekeeping really suits me. You know, when spring is coming in and I haven't worked bees in several months and I am ready to go. I'm ready to pour everything I've got into it. And I did that for a couple of months and the pace was frantic. And I just worked. And now I think my mind and my body are like, you need to take a break for a minute. I need to get some more sleep too. I haven't slept good the last few nights, and that does make a difference. It's June the 12th. We're going around feeding bees today. We got Parker 1 or 2 days a week now. Finding plenty to do to keep him busy. I'm feeding these little colonies. I'll go through and open them, see if they need a box or checkerboarded or anything like that, and then leave them open, move to the next one, and he comes behind me and feeds and closes up. So we are, on average, getting through yards twice as fast as normal. You can see it's hive beetle season. Hate hive beetles. Working out pretty well. Hives are growing. Got 5 queens that are supposed to be coming from Troy Hall today. They should have been delivered yesterday, but I live in such a rural area that UPS has decided they don't deliver to me on Tuesday or Thursday anymore. So I didn't know that. Troy shipped them on Monday. He probably should have shipped them on Tuesday and I would have gotten them today. So hopefully they'll all be alive. I've got splits above double screen, or splits above excluders, brood above excluders that I can make splits out of. So I've got to keep running by the house and checking to see if UPS has been there. Kind of eats a whole day just waiting on the delivery man. Parker just caught his first bee sting.
First sting.
In the leg. You had a bee crawl on you and then you squished it.
Yep.
Well, when that happens to me, I always say it's an honest sting. It's my fault, not hers. Wasn't a mean bee. So we're out feeding. I just popped the lid on this nuke that I made, and on this telescoping lid, there's a problem. Ants like to build on top of them things or around the edges. I've actually got my lids set up with enough of a rim that this rim needs to be tall enough that the bees will police this, and they do, but the ants will still build under the telescopic cover, but not in the bee space. With a migratory lid, you don't see that. That is a big colony of ants there. They're biting me right now. That's a plus for migratory lids. Big plus for migratory lids. It's June 13th, and mimosa is in full bloom. Bees will work that some. Honey's a little darker, it's okay, it's not great. Sourwood is also in bloom, and smooth sumac is also in bloom. These bees are acting like they're on some kind of a little flow. I've been feeding this yard, and I'm here to feed again today. We've got taking my son to Cub Scout camp this weekend, so we'll be gone for 4 days, and I want to get these fed. This is the last group that hasn't had syrup this week. They're going through it. It's kind of sad this time of year to have feed bills as big as they are. We just have not had, we haven't had the honey flow this year that I would have preferred to see. You know, feeding nukes is something I'm used to. You just do that to get them to draw foundations if you don't have draw and comb to give them. So that's one thing, but they're not making what they normally would off the natural stuff this year, that's for sure. So today is June the 20th, and I'm in much better spirits today than I have been in a little while. Our flow started with tulip poplar. That's a major flow in Tennessee, and it bloomed early this year. It normally starts around May the 1st, and it started like April 18th or April 20th, something like that. And then black locust followed on its heels, and then we got Chinese privet blooming all at the same time. So we went roughly 2 weeks with a really heavy nectar flow, and then it started raining, and it rained for 2 weeks. So I've not made any honey at all since about May 5th until June 12th. And this is one of the reasons that I got hive scales this year. I've downloaded 2 hives. This is June the 20th. And in the last 8 days, one of them made 20 pounds and the other one's made 24. So what we've got blooming is sourwood, smooth sumac, mimosa, and Dutch white clover. And I've seen bees working Dutch white really hard. I've seen bees on sourwood. I've seen bees on smooth sumac. Mimosa, they can make honey from that, but it's usually not a real big source. So if all of my 100 hives have put on 20 or 24 pounds in the last week, that makes me happy. That's a good thing. All my 100 production colonies, I've got about 230 or 240 total, but most of them, you know, half of them are nukes. So they're growing. And then I've got this to hope for. That is shining sumac, which usually will bloom in July, but it looks like it's going to be a little early this year too. And last year I didn't make anything from it, but maybe we'll get something from it this year. It looks very similar to smooth sumac, but you can tell the leaves have got this kind of waxier, shiny look to them. I think it's also called dwarf sumac. It's got a few names. I forget the family name. It may be Rusa. But that is a couple weeks away from blooming, I would say. So hopefully we'll get something from that. Shining sumac is really the last chance that I've got to make honey off of the spring or early summer flow. We do have basswood trees here, and they will bloom, around the 4th of July, sometime in there, late June, early July. But we've got a southern varietal of basswood. We don't have the northern basswood. Ours have got a sort of silvery look to the underside of the leaves, and the underside of the leaves is hairy. And they don't produce like the northern variety does. The northern variety can produce extremely heavily, and they're irregular. They may produce 3 years out of 5 or something like that. Ours doesn't produce much ever. You may get 10 or 15 pounds off of it every few years. It just is not real reliable. But the sumacs are more reliable for us, and they can be good some years. Last year was not good at all, but with all the rain that we've had this year, I'm hoping that it's supposed to produce better when it's hot and dry. And the next 2 weeks we've got temperatures in the 90s every day, and not a lot of chance for rain, but we've got good soil moisture right now. So I'm hopeful. Maybe we can make up for some lost time, some lost flow.